Hi, my name is Aapo, and if you are new here, I am the founder and still the only person behind the audio plugin company Sixth Sample. Today's video is going to be a bit different. I have some behind the scenes updates to share that'll affect the plugins, the website, and how everything works moving forward. None of this has been an easy decision for me, but I believe these changes will make things better for all of us. So let's talk about what's changing and why. So the biggest change that I have completely moved to a new e-commerce platform from easy digital downloads to a company called Moonbase. This decision was partly due to a thing that I'll talk about very soon, but also that they have a very small company friendly approach to handling the selling of digital products. And after getting to know their system and how everything works, I realized that the switch would save me a lot of time from managing the e-commerce side of things, and everything else was also very straightforward, specifically for the use case of selling audio plugins. Furthermore, Moonbase provides its own graphical interface for the checkout process and the account handling and all that stuff, you know, when you sign into your account and manage your downloads and all that jazz. And it's much better than what I have currently, which I have kind of made myself, and it's a kind of pain in the butt to handle all the website development. And because I'm not a web developer, I'd rather spend the time making plugins, which is what I actually love to do and which is why I have the company. So I'll gladly save all the time that I'm able to save from managing and developing and maintaining the website side of things, and switching to Moonbase makes things much easier for me and is probably going to save a lot of time. So how will all this affect you may ask? The main thing is that the look of the website is going to be a bit different, mainly in the account page and also when you go through the checkout process. So those two things are handled by Moonbase entirely, which is why the look of the elements and the buttons and the text and all that stuff is going to be a bit different. It'll also be quite smoothly integrated into the existing website as a kind of drawer coming from the right hand side of the website page. So it should be very straightforward, even more straightforward than before. And I think also the look and the way everything is laid out is much more professional and much more user friendly. So that's the biggest thing that will change for you, is how the website will look. Another thing is that because the account handling is also moved to Moonbase, all the passwords created in the old website are not going to work anymore. The only thing you have to do the next time you log in into the website, you just have to reset your password. There will be this small text saying that the account system is new and you have to reset the password to gain access to your account again. So that's the biggest thing. It has been a lot of work, but I'm so glad to finally make the switch. I'm sure this will make handling your account much smoother for you and also save a lot of time for me, which is why I'm super excited about this new chapter of the Sixth Sample website. Right. So the next thing, which I hope you understand that I made this decision, is that I am finally, after almost 4 years of running the company, switching to a license system, which means you have to activate your plugin when you first start using it. I know what you're thinking. I didn't like this decision either, and I have always said that I don't like copy protection because it usually is very cumbersome for the customer who has spent money on buying that product and then also has to go through this whatever process it is to activate the plugin. And I don't want to punish customers with something like that, which is why for all these years I have been building the products without any copy protection, and you have been able to just load them up in your DAW and you are ready to go. But the reason that I finally decided to start using a licensing system is actually due to a couple of things. One is that because I'm switching to the Moonbase e-commerce system, they have a very simple licensing solution already built into the system. So the flow for the customer to purchase a plugin and activate it is as easy as it gets. And I wouldn't have done the decision to start using a copy protection system if it weren't easy for the customer. And the other reason that I even started thinking about implementing such a system is that recently, for the past year or so, the Sixsample plugin sales haven't been as good as I would have hoped, to be honest. And I just kind of have to start thinking about systems to start building a more solid foundation for the company to start growing. And licensing is kind of I wouldn't say it's a must, because I know there are some big companies that don't use copy protection. But for a solo developer like me, it's so hard to make a good steady stream of sales when you can't collect emails in exchange for a license, or send licenses to other producers for testimonials, or tackle piracy, or things like that. Piracy, for example, is unfortunately a big thing, and it takes a chunk out of your profits, even though in a perfect world, I wouldn't need copy protection at all, or nobody would need copy protection, but it's the unfortunate truth that not everybody is ready to pay for products that they want to use. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I have also downloaded some products for free in the past, like 10 years ago, when I didn't have a whole lot of money. So I do understand the reasoning behind downloading paid products for free. And it's like, I do understand it, but it's just something that if you wanna keep building and growing a software company, you just can't afford to give away free versions for anyone who wants them. This was the biggest decision for me in all of these updates that I'm talking to you about today, and also the hardest one. I didn't want to make the switch, to be honest, but I kind of have to try something here, so I'm excited, but I'm also somewhat disappointed, to be honest. I hope you are not too disappointed, and I hope you understand the decision. I'm gonna be doing my very best to make the whole process of activating the plugins and use them without any interruptions as smooth as possible for you. So if there are any issues with the new system, please let me know, and I'll just fix it for you as soon as possible with Moonbase. I hope this will enable me to start thinking about marketing things that wouldn't be possible in the past without copy protection. So that's what I'm really excited about, and I want to thank you all for supporting me in this decision. So anyway, and actually one more thing about the licensing before I move on to the last couple of things that are changing, is that the trial versions of the plugins are also changing a bit. So because I'm now using the Moonbase licensing system, I can also start using time-limited trials, which are fully featured plugins without any interruptions and have only a time limit to them. So going forward, the trial versions are available for 14 days, and in that time frame you are free to play around with the plugins, try out what sounds you can get out of them without any interruptions, like before, where we had a short couple of seconds silence in the trial versions. I think it was every 40 seconds. I don't know if you prefer this or the unlimited time trials, but this is a no-brainer for me because I can use the same binaries, they are called, so the same plugin file for the trials and also the full versions. So that's a lot easier for you as well, because when the trial time is up, you can just purchase the plugin online and you already have the plugin installed on your system, and you don't have to rerun the installer or anything like that. So that's that. Trials are changing a little bit as well. The next thing, which is probably pretty small, and I hope none of you that are watching these videos are one of these users, but I am dropping the 32-bit versions of the plugins that still support it. So these plugins were Delay Platinum Edition, Cramit Platinum Edition, and Clips, I think. And this decision is just purely because not a lot of users are using the 32-bit versions anymore. It's a very old system, and it's just a very small minority of people that still have 32-bit systems. And even though there are just probably a few customers that use those versions, it takes some time for me to build 2 versions of each of those plugins. So this decision was mainly because it saves time for me to spend on other things like building plugins and updating them. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. And then the last thing, which also isn't a positive thing. I'm sorry, this video is just mainly negative changes in terms of you, the lovely customer that has supported me. But I am also removing the 6th club from the website. And there are 2 reasons for this. The first one is that the whole system of pay what you want. So previously you were able to either download the sample and preset packs for free after purchasing any of the paid 6 sample plugins, or alternatively, if you wanted, you could pay a couple bucks or something like that just to support me. And that was the kind of system around 6th club. But that system was very much integrated in the previous e-commerce system that I was using, and now that I'm switching to Moonbase, it's not possible anymore. The other reason, which is probably the main reason, is that I just haven't had time to add any content in there. I don't even remember the last time that I added something in there. It was probably like 1 year ago or something. It just hasn't been as easy to find the time to actually make quality sample packs and preset packs and all the things that we had in there. And I don't know if it makes sense to keep it in there anymore, because it's one more thing that I have to spend hours on if I want to actually keep the content fresh and keep adding stuff in there, which was the original intention. So for now, it might come back. I don't know, maybe I'll make it like, I don't know, free only without the pay what you want system. But for now, at least for the start of this new transition, I'll be removing the club from the website. So thanks for understanding this decision as well. It wasn't easy either, but I just thought it didn't make sense to have this club that promises new content frequently. I don't know if it says frequently, but anyway, to not have new content in a year or something like that. So I'd rather wait until I have the resources to make the club a quality club again, if that makes sense. So anyway, yeah, that's all about that. All right, so those are the main things that are changing in 6th sample. Not much more to say, I guess. Thank you so much everybody who has supported me in the past. I'm sure it has really enabled me to run this company up until this point, and also probably enable me to run this company for years to come. So it really means a lot to me. Also, I really appreciate everybody understanding these decisions that I've made. It could be a rough switch at first to do all these big changes to the company policy, but I think as for the future, it's for the better of everybody. So I truly hope that's the case, and we are able to start building 6th sample into a bigger company and getting more plugins out and making cool updates and making, I don't know, all this cool stuff that I initially started the company for. So thank you. I don't know what else to say. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and learning about these new changes. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so from the button below. Currently, I'm doing this Project 52 challenge where I'm trying to produce 52 tracks in 1 year, and at the time of filming this video, I'm on week 17, I think. So if you'd like to see those videos released every Wednesday, be sure to be subscribed. Alright, I can't think of anything else to say, so I guess that's all for today. Very excited about the future of 6th sample. I hope you are as well. New plugin coming quite soon, I hope. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I hope you have a great day, and thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.